Part 15. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Renhuo Xiangxiao. Chapter 148. Ha 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 ha. Hong Kong, don't be sad. No one else can ask for the job of being a class representative. Yes, Hong Kong, I believe that after a semester of hard work, you will definitely like Blue. A cute elf like Blue may look fierce, but he is really kind-hearted, right? Yang Yu. Stop talking, I can't even control my legs now. Hong Kong didn't know how he survived this class. That Blue liked to sit on the table in front of Yang Yu go up, and Yang Yu is sitting next to him, that is to say. Boom. Hong Kong will never forget the sharp expression when Blue turned his head. Woo woo woo, is there a beautiful lady who can comfort me? The analysis of the old professor's elf battle today was really good. The elf can build a deeper bond with the trainer through various trainings the day after tomorrow to overcome the restraint brought by the attributes of some moves and the restraint of the elf characteristics. Gao Mao touched the little top hat on his head, and the little top hat nodded with great success. It is allowed to summon elves in the classroom to study together. However, Yang is probably the only person in the school who cannot summon elves in the classroom during his freshman year. This is not always the case. There are also some elves on the banned list. Elves, stinky flowers, stinky mud, in short, no matter what elves are summoned, they cannot affect the normal order of the class. I still can't summon my salted fish king in the classroom, so I can only become a teacher. Yang Yu pouted. Seeing that other people's elves can appear in the classroom and interact, Yang Yu also wants to be in the classroom interact with the salted fish king. But in the end, Yang Yu had no choice but to jerk off to Blue. But having said that, the feeling of jerking off to Gentleman Blue was particularly good, especially when Blue squinted his eyes and stuck out his tongue. That was when Blue completely opened his heart and had no regard for others. Any time of precaution. This sense of trust made Yang Yu very happy. Regarding this, Hong Kong was envious, jealous, and afraid at the same time, because Hong Kong could feel that there were many pairs of young ladies behind him who were staring at Yang Yu, who was masturbating, and all kinds of things appeared in the classroom. A sweet and melodious voice, but the problem is that for him, this Blue is a really vicious group. Yang Yu, if you open a training class, I will sign up, Wenren Fang Chen said from the side. I'll sign up too. Of course I'm one of them. Naturally, Hong Kong and Gao Mao would not be left behind. After they joined the school's elite trainer alliance, they heard Yang Yu keep talking. At the same time, Yang Yu was also preparing to open a student training class in the school. Once Yang Yu's training class starts, everyone knows that it relies on Yang Yu's salted fish king. As long as the salted fish king is there, this is a sign. During the freshman ranking battle, the salted fish king's intimidating aura will be it has already made many freshmen and some old students stunned, not to mention the dragon's wrath move that exuded terrifying energy fluctuations in the later duel with Principal who did. You must register for this. Whether it is the resistance to the intimidating aura or the feeling of the dragon's wrath, it can greatly improve the elf's strength. At least, having the courage to take action is taking a crucial step. Although there are various fighting training clubs in the school, and there are also fighting gyms outside the school, for the 4 Yangyes in dormitory 403, the school elite trainer alliance is definitely the top in the school, and the rest it's better not to go and waste time. As for Yang Yu personally, does the club cost money? Does a fighting gym cost money? Since it costs money, it's better to set up a training class yourself. To be honest, maybe the presidents of some societies can't beat Yang Yu. What's more, as long as you pass the training class qualification application assessment, not only will you not spend a penny, but you will also make money. At the same time, the school will also arrange a special venue as a strong support for elite students. Principal, take a look at this application. The fax sent from the school's elite trainer alliance is about Yang Yu's training class. The principal did not need to pay attention to the training class itself, but this time the person who wanted to set up the training class was Yang Yu, so Principal Jin Xiaodong had to take it seriously. It is a good thing for elite students to establish training classes at school, but what the principal needs to consider are the follow-up issues. What to do with the training class venue? It's true that the school will provide support for the venue, but the problem is that Yang Yu's elf is a Gyarados. Yang Yu's Gyarados was very big during the Magikarp period. After evolving, it should be at least 7 or 8 meters tall. With such a large size, the venue might not be enough for an ordinary gymnasium, right? Jin Xiaodong, your courage is really getting better and better. When I was in college, I dared to call telekinesis as illusion. Even if I was a girl, I would make even one girl cry. But then I got married and had children. That girl started beating me and crying. Grandma, forget it. With great difficulty, our Hangcheng Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology finally produced a student who was able to grow Magikarp into Gyarados in his freshman year. Is it possible that I, Jin Xiaodong, don't have the courage to do so? Principal Jin Xiaodong he slapped the table hard and said, "Go and tell the Elite Alliance to let Zhao Shenzi, the elite lecturer our school has just recruited, go. If Yang Yu can defeat Zhao Shenzi, I will give him the arena to play in." Yes. The principal's words sent the facts to the principal, and the elite officers of the school's elite alliance were completely confused. The principal has ever beaten a girl for crying before? Now she's a girl beating up the principal and crying? The principal also said that if Yang Yu could defeat Zhao, lecturer Zhao actually gave the arena to Yang Yuan. Principal, is he no longer a human being? That's not right. Even if Yang Yu has a Gyarados, a mere freshman, there is no way he can beat Professor Zhao. Professor Zhao is a trainer with 2 high-level elves? Is this trying to stop Yang Yu or help Yang Yu? By the way, you didn't hear anything just now, right? Principal Jin Xiaodong seemed to have thought of something, and looked at the elite officers of this elite alliance with murderous eyes. School, principal, no, I didn't hear that. The elite officer almost cried. He really regretted that he couldn't grow 2 more legs. It would have been better if he had just run away. Hey. Okay, go ahead, the principal waved his hand impatiently. The elite officials were amnesty and fled the terrifying principal's office. When the office became quiet, Principal Jin Xiaodong slowly rubbed his eyebrows and laughed at himself. Hey, you can't blame me. Since I took office as the president of Hangcheng Elf University of Electronic Science and Technology, there has been no such thing in the national competition. What good results have you achieved? Suddenly, the principal's eyes rolled, and a very shrewd smile appeared on the corner of his mouth. When Yang Yu holds a training class, it will definitely be very profitable, right? If the arena breaks down during the training period, let him pay for it himself. Xiu, How dare you ask me during the award ceremony whether I need to pay taxes on the 100,000 yuan bonus? From beginning to end, the principal's face showed no concern about the outcome of this elf duel. Able to melt the wall of light in who did that move of Dragon's Wrath. The approval has been approved, great. When Yang Yu received the news, he was very excited. He was really afraid that his superiors would not approve it. If he won, it would be difficult to find a venue for this training class, right? But who is this Zhao Shenzi? Isn't his opponent an elite member of the original Elite Alliance? Yang Yu touched his head, confused. Zhao Shenzi is the youngest lecturer newly recruited by the school this year. He has 2 high-level elves and 4 other elves who are as powerful as the sea spiny dragon in your dormitory Hong Kong. Yang Yu stupidly held the approval document in his hand and stared blankly at the 3 characters Zhao Shenzi written by the assessor on it, wishing he could tear the paper into pieces. Is there such a thing? Didn't you agree to beat the seniors? Why did it turn into beating the teacher? And he is such a powerful lecturer. Can't you put some water in it? The principal also said that if you can beat Teacher Zhao, he will use the arena as a football field for you to play. The elite officer who was delivering the message suddenly felt that the atmosphere around him was a little cold. He saw a pair of eyes that seemed to be glowing green. Make a deal. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 149. Xiao Xiao, today I will take you to see the Salted Fish King fight against the elves. Yang Yu tapped the edge of the water basin with his finger. The little fish in the water basin rolled his eyes weakly and spit out a few bubbles. It hasn't eaten for several days. Yang Yu sweated profusely. This was his fault. If he hadn't suddenly seen a fish tank next to his skull bag that he could carry with him, cough cough cough. Fortunately, when Yang Yu came, he had already prepared powdered energy crystals suitable for the fish elf to eat when he was young. This was much more expensive than energy cubes of the same quality. Jojo Fish's eyes lit up slightly. He ate a little bit in small bites, and after a while, he recovered a lot of strength. Let's go, little guy, there is a difficult battle today. I hope we can cheer for the Salted Fish King together. Yang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. Fortunately, Jojo Fish didn't seem to blame him on his expression. He felt guilty and determined in his heart. Yang Yu's belief in cultivating Jojo Fish. Huja huji, the ugly fish spit out a few more small bubbles. It's still an arena. It was also crowded today. The aftermath of the freshman ranking competition has not yet calmed down, but the shocking news that freshman Yang Yu is about to face off against new lecturer Zhao Shenzi immediately spread. Yang Yu wants to hold a training class in school. This is an assessment battle. But why is it the lecturer who is fighting? What's going on with this freshman class? Are they going to make big news at every turn? Both the teachers in the school and the seniors were attracted by this elf battle. President, you are back. Kang Hanan occupied a front row early. This is not a freshman ranking competition. The front row position must be given to the freshmen. As long as you come early, you will have a front row position. It is also a benefit within the school elite alliance, and it is well informed. Are the freshmen of this class so brave? I didn't know before. I thought they were competing against our elite officers. Later I received news and asked about the lecturer Zhao Shenzi. He actually graduated from Yanqing University with a master's degree. Although he is not a perverted student from Yanqing University who specializes in trainers, he is still a master's student, so he must have 6 elves on hand that can go into battle. Yang Yu needs 1 to beat 6 to win? Not necessarily. The assessment rules still depend on the lecturer's decision. Kang Hanan laughed and shook his head. Does Yang Yu have a grudge against the principal? Originally, the Elite Alliance sent an elite officer to go. Yang Yu should have a good chance of completing the assessment. Why did the opponent become a lecturer? Where did this new student come from? And he actually thought about challenging me. The principal is also serious. What's wrong with Gyarados? With Gyarados, you think you can do whatever you want to challenge this lecturer. During the elf battle, he even beat the girl to tears. Huh, I hate these boys who bully girls the most. If possible, I would beat him to tears too. Hey, let's forget it. I won't argue with the students. I'll just educate this newbie who doesn't know the world. By the way, I'll show my true strength and save some flies who don't know their own abilities from bothering me. Let's go, Zhao Shenzi, you are the best. In the teacher's office, a female lecturer wearing high heels walked out. There was no trace of anger on her face at this time. She still had a smile on her face, and she walked towards the arena in a hurry, but she was full of momentum. Female, female. When Yang Yu stood on the edge of the pokeball in the center of the arena, he saw a female lecturer in high heels walking out of the player channel in front of her. She had an expressionless face and looked very serious. Are you classmate Yang Yu? When the female lecturer Zhao Shenzi opened her mouth, She acted in a business-like manner and showed no emotion. After all, she is also a master's degree graduate from Yenching University. She is a new lecturer here. To be honest, even if she is the president and vice president of the school's elite alliance, she will maintain the etiquette of teachers and students when they meet. How could she risk it? Where's the dumbfounded Qing Yang Yu? It's not okay to challenge other people, but you have to challenge her? Do you really think that her master's degree diploma from Yenching University is made of plastic? Hello, Lecturer Zhao. Yang Yu wiped his sweat. This female lecturer seemed a little unfriendly. Fortunately, Zhao Shenzi did not continue to be aggressive. As he walked along the way, his unhappiness had more or less dissipated. At this time, the expression on his face that gradually became serious was just that of concentration on an elf battle. As long as you stand in the arena, there is no distinction between lecturers and students. There are only opponents. Yang Yu felt a shiver in his heart. At this time, the feeling that the female lecturer in front of him gave him was different from the last friendly match with the principal. Strictly speaking, this was the first real game since the evolution of the Salted Fish King. Elf Battle. Announcing the rules of this competition, if you defeat the instructor's 2 elves, you can pass the application assessment. The more elves that defeat the instructor, up to 6, the better the venue the training class will get. The game officially begins. The principal put down the microphone in his hand with a smile, and looked at the arena that was full again in front of him. His heart even started to bleed. It would be great if we could collect the ticket money, but we can't collect it at all. How much red is this? The brilliant elf coins. Go ahead, 3 in -1 Magneto. Money. On the field, a yellow lightning flashed, and an elf that looked like a combination of 3 little magnets appeared on the arena, causing bursts of exclamations from the audience. It's an electric elf, the electric elf that Gyarados fears the most. A 3-in-1 magnet monster with a special attack value of 120 points. It is more than enough to deal with Yang Yu's Gyarados. This lecturer Zhao really goes all out and doesn't give Yang Yu any chance. Yang Yu is in danger. We have just come to watch the competition. We won't be killed by the lecturer's 3-in-1 Magnemite with a move of 100,000 volts, right? A lecturer is a lecturer after all. How can Yang Yu defeat him? Wen Ren Fang Chen and the 3 people in the audience looked very solemn. Yang Yu's Gyarados strength was worthy of recognition, but his opponent was a lecturer. He must have a lot of experience in elf battles, not to mention that among the 3-in-1 Magnemites the electric move that attacks Yang Yu's Gyarados, will cause 4 times the horrific damage. 3-in-1 Magnemite, the lecturer is really powerful. Then, it's up to us. Go ahead, Salted Fish King. Roar. In the elf ball, a huge body appeared in an instant, and at the same time, a fierce and arrogant head was staring coldly in front of the owner. That elf with electric light on its body, and that woman. 3-in-1 Magneto, don't be frightened by that intimidating aura. Go ahead and use the move, 100,000 volts. Female lecturer Zhao Shenzi looked calmly and took action with all her strength. Has this started? Yang Yu took a deep breath, with unspeakable excitement on his face. Salted Fish King, let's go. Dragon's Wrath. Sizzling. G. Roar. 2 beams of light, 1 yellow and 1 red, struck together fiercely. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huoqiang Xiao. Chapter 150. 3-in-1 Magnet Monster, increase the voltage and crush this dragon's wrath. The female lecturer pointed firmly in the direction of the Gyarados in the sky, but even so, the Gyarados spraying the dragon's beam of light from its mouth, it still shocked her deeply. Is this still the fighting strength of a freshman? In this days, This reminded Zhao Shenzi of 6 or 7 years ago. At that time, she was actually the same size as the new student in front of her, and she also had the dream of becoming the strongest female trainer. However, she did not have the strength to enter school at that time. Not strong, even in his junior year, he was just average, compared to those proud men. Soon, Zhao Shenzi's mentality immediately adjusted to the position of a lecturer. Since as a lecturer, he showed his strength in the elf battle and defeated the students, even if they were geniuses, he should teach them to avoid arrogance and impetuosity. 3-in-1 Magneto, release the wall of light, the female lecturer calmly commanded, don't you like to use Dragon's Wrath? The power of special moves will be greatly reduced in front of the wall of light. At this time, release 100,000 volts. King of Salted Fish, right now, Salted Fish, thrust, Yang Yu's eyes lit up, and his face even started to look a little strange. Such a chance of fighting was fleeting, this female lecturer, could it be that after seeing the Dragon's Wrath, she really is it possible to be a special attacker as the Salted Fish King? The female lecturer's face changed drastically at this time. She seemed to have made a stupid mistake that she shouldn't have made. It seemed that she was trying to teach students how to respect a lecturer quickly. But just because of this, she saw the terrifying fluctuations of the dragon's fury. When, I subconsciously thought, the opponent is a special attack spirit. Xiao Zhao is going to suffer, but it's okay to suffer. After all, teachers and students have to make progress together. Principal Jin Xiaodong still looked at the battle in the arena with a smile, and his heart was as clear as a mirror. Yang Yu's move Salted Fish Stab was even more terrifying than a normal impact, both in terms of power and speed. If Hu De hadn't used teleportation, this move would have been impossible to dodge. 3-in-1 Magnemite, defensive stance, 100,000 volts. Boom. Before the female lecturer could give instructions, she saw the Gyarados with bright blue scales shining in the air, directly knocking her 3-in-1 Magnemite into the ground. King Salted Fish, take advantage of the moment and splash into the water, Yang Yu waved his fist fiercely, what a great job. Huji, outside the arena, next to Yang Yu's skull bag, a small fish jumped excitedly in the fish tank, splashing some water. Water splashing, the female lecturer was stunned, but soon, the expression on her face turned into fear. Because the body of the Gyarados in front of me jumped high on the ground and hit the ground hard at the same time. Boom boom boom. Next to the 3-in-1 magnet monster being hit into the ground, it seemed to be caught in an earthquake, and bursts of flying sand were raised at the same time. Come back quickly, 3-in-1 Magnemite. You did a great job. Zhao Shenzi took out the elf ball in his hand, and his face was full of nervousness. First, he was worried about the injury of the 3-in-1 Magnemite, and second, he was worried about Yang Yu. New life, deep vigilance arises in my heart. Is this a water splash? This is clearly a shortened version of the golden legendary move, Earthquake. A move that had almost no effect during the Carp King period actually had such an incredible effect under Yang Yu's understanding of the move. Go, Cold Turtle, a trace of sweat flowed from the female lecturer's forehead. Call. The Cold Turtle's two huge nostrils spit out endless smoke. Under the thick black carapace, the orange-brown body is strong and powerful. The fiery red depressions on the turtle shell constantly spray out thick fog on the field that obscures the view. She knew that after the defeat of the 3-in-1 Magnemite, the elves in her hands no longer had electric moves, and were almost at a disadvantage when facing Gyarados. Even her other high-level elf is no longer a match for Gyarados due to its attributes. Defeat by 2 is inevitable, which makes Zhao Shenzi feel very uncomfortable. To me, losing 1 is already a failure. Then, I can only use strategies to consume the Gyarados' physical strength, and finally defeat it. This Cold Turtle. Yang Yu looked speechlessly at the fire elf who had turned the place into a smoky place, but he did not dare to relax at all. This battle, Salted Fish King, we will fight quickly with water splash. Be careful with the cold turtle's moves to avoid getting burned. Roar. The Salted Fish King understood Yang Yu's words and jumped directly on the ground with water splash. This feeling of using his body to cause damage to the field. I don't know why, but it seemed to ignite the desire for destruction in his heart. It was special. A sense of accomplishment. Let's dance together. Let's dance together. Several Magi-Carp in the audience followed the king on the field, following the king's rhythm, as if the incredible power of the moves on the field was caused by their water splash. Principal Jin Xiaodong looked at the arena in front of him that had just been repaired and then fell into a mess. His face was extremely pale, but he seemed to have thought of something again, and a meaningful smile appeared at the corner of his mouth. In the stands, those old students majoring in civil engineering looked at Yang Yu in the field as if they had seen the savior of credits. They wished that Yang Yu had demolished the entire arena, so that not only could they complete some credits, but it would be best to the civil engineering tasks for next semester are also completed. This classmate Yang Yu should come to our civil engineering major. He should go to the community college in Chilaozi. This is too unfair. I was not born before you were born, and I am old after you were born. Why couldn't this classmate come to our school earlier? I am already a senior. Senior, my condolences. There was a buzz in the stands. Cold turtle, puff smoke. When the back of the cold turtle began to gradually emit billowing smoke of burning coal, there was suddenly more gravel on the field that was shaken by the water splashing. Now, Salty Fish King, help the gravels. Tornado, Yang Yu clenched his fists. The gravels shaking in the air are the key to solving the cold turtles. The Salted Fish King stretched out his body and rotated rapidly in the air. Relying on the gravel in the air, it was like a storm of gravel was rolled up, and he attacked hard in the direction of the cold turtle. This is. Principal Jin Xiaodong stood up immediately and watched in great surprise as the storm of gravel raised on the field clashed with the cold turtle's smoke-breathing move. The sky-wide debris flew down from the sky above the cold turtle. It's appeared, an incredible move has appeared. Almost at the same time, the president and vice president of the school elite alliance, as well as many elite officers present, all stood up, with complete astonishment in their eyes. Water Splash and Tornado, using the gravel on the field, formed a rock-type move, Rockfall, which caused outstanding restraint damage to the cold turtle. Fang Chen's mouth was dry, if he hadn't seen it with his own eyes. He really couldn't believe that this was a field move that a freshman could use. Under the dull expression of the female lecturer Zhao Shenzi, the cold turtle collapsed. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 151. What just happened? Why did the cold turtle lose inexplicably? Can a cold turtle be killed with just one tornado move? It's unscientific. The tornado didn't even blow up the cold turtle. Moreover, didn't the power of the smoke-breathing move have already defeated the tornado? What the hell is going on with those gravels? Too strong, too strong. He is indeed the man I like. Nana, do you see clearly? This is our goal. Zhang Yuxuan shook Nidana crazily in her hands, her eyes seemed to be able to see through the scene. In the smoke on the ground, I saw the faintly charming outline. Nido ni doni ni 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 ni. Nidana felt like she was getting dizzy. Ever since her master was defeated in the ranked battle, Nidana felt that something was wrong. It's not that the enemy army is too strong, it's that I really can't do it. I am just a pure and lovely Nido little Nana from the deep mountains and old forests. That's a big, cruel one. Beat her and cry her. You must beat her and cry her. Zhang Yuxuan's eyes flashed with intense light, she clenched her small fist hard and waved it several times. The dormitory roommate who came to watch the elf battle with Zhang Yuxuan looked at Zhang Yuxuan with shocked eyes, who was almost completely different from the usually gentle and elegant Zhang Yuxuan with a calm smile. Terrible. Love makes people blind. Although it is one-sided, it is still scary. The moves on the field take advantage of the particularity of the field, and with the exquisite coordination of limited moves, create incredible moves with incredible effects and power. Is this really a freshman? The female lecturer no longer looked at the person in front of her who was challenging her. The freshmen were dissatisfied and only looked solemn. At the same time, there were also some teachers who appreciated the students. Cold Turtle, you did a great job, come back. The female lecturer took back the Cold Turtle, looked at the happy Gyarados opposite, and gritted her teeth. Go, Bada Butterfly. Beata, it's up to you. An elf with flapping wings, a blue body and big red eyes flew out of the field. Big Butterfly, Yang Yu's eyes lit up. He may not have much feelings for the insect-type elves. Perhaps because of the big butterfly owned by the protagonist Zai in the anime, he is not interested in the Green Caterpillar series, especially the Green Caterpillar series. I have a good impression of Bada. Beata, use paralysis powder. Beep. Bad Butterfly was a little scared when she saw Gyarados. Beata, come on, don't be afraid, use the paralysis powder. The female lecturer gritted her teeth. Beep. The crystal powder was fluttering under the wings of Bada Butterfly and blew in the direction of Gyarados. King Salted Fish, blow them away. Yang Yu shook his head. If the Salted Fish King hadn't evolved yet, the effect of this move would definitely be excellent. However, what Bad Butterfly is facing now, is the evolved Salted Fish. King of Fish. Roar. Xianyu Dynasty roared in the direction of Bada Butterfly. Beep beep beep. Bada Butterfly immediately staggered like a headless fly and flew around in fear. If the previous action was based on trust in the master, this time it was an instinctive escape before facing fear. Damn it, Bada, you did a great job, come back. Female lecturer Zhao Shenzi's face began to shed nervous sweat. Gyarados' intimidating characteristics are really buggy, especially with such a long one. Huge body. In the face of absolute strength, the number of elves cannot play a substantial role. The female lecturer took a deep look at Yang Yu. In her hand, there was another elf ball. This was the high-level elf she had planned to use last. However, when Bad Butterfly faced Gyarados, the moment she was so frightened that she turned around and ran away, Zhao Shenzi knew that she had to take out this elf. Because the remaining two mid-level elves, like Bada Butterfly, once faced with this ferocious-looking ferocious beast, they would just give away food and kill people. Once sent out to fight, the opponent's elves will inevitably become more and more powerful. It is better to cut off the warrior's wrist at this critical moment and directly choose to fight in advance. Go, Long Rock. Who? An elf appeared on the arena, whose whole body was covered with rocks. It was like a ball, with a rather ferocious expression and sharp teeth, and was not afraid of the flying Gyarados in the air. The confident light returned to the female lecturer's eyes. This Longian was already her elf companion when she was still a little fiststone. It has been almost 7 years since she entered freshman year until now. They grew up together and experienced countless elven battles together. There were losses and wins, laughter and tears. This was her mainstay and her spiritual harbor. In order to avoid the possible fatal damage caused by water-based moves, she trained the small fiststone in the storm like those trainers with top-grade rumble stones. After the small fiststone evolved into the rumble stone, the training remained the same, and later, it evolved into Long Rock. From the very beginning, little fiststone could never accept the fear brought by the rain. Later, even when facing the water gun, he would not show the slightest fear. After little fiststone finally evolved into Long Rock, unless it was, for those particularly powerful water-based moves, ordinary water-based moves can no longer cause much damage to them. Yang Yu felt the change in the aura of the female lecturer. The moment Long Longian appeared on the field, the previous sadness completely dissipated. Moreover, Long Longian made a click, click, click sound of joint movement, which made Yang Yu feel, the killing move is coming. Here he is, the strongest trump card in Zhao Shenzi's hand. Principal Jin Zedong's eyes lit up. I thought Zhao Shenzi would put Long Longian as the last one to appear. It seems that she can't help it anymore. That's how Gyarados is, otherwise, why are there so many trainers around the world who want to make Magikarp into a Gyarados? Even if it is extremely difficult, once it truly evolves, Gyarados so powerful, even this intimidating aura alone is enough to make trainers jealous. A fierce and powerful appearance is in itself a deterrent of strength. Salted Fish King, be careful. Yang Yu's expression gradually became serious. He didn't know what other elves his opponent had in his hands, but this was the fourth one. Ho ho ho, the excitement in King Xianyu's eyes was still there. He had a great time fighting this battle, but he still would not forget those days when he trained under the devil instructor Xiao Bai. If you fall behind, you will be beaten. The momentum of the Long Longian in front of me is like the endless winding mountains, as stable as Mount Tai, while the momentum of the Salted Fish King is like the rolling waves, as fast as sparks. The battle is about to begin. The next update will be around 2:30. I slept too late yesterday. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiao. Chapter 152. King Salted Fish, please recover first. Yang Yu gave the order. This command is easy to understand for the audience. Gyarados, who has used Dragon's Wrath, Salted Fish Stance, Water Splash and Tornado moves in succession, must be feeling tired at this time. This recovery command is equivalent to a battle rest in. But they didn't know that while the Salted Fish King was hovering in the air, his regenerative properties were continuously restoring his physical strength. This was just Yang Yu's cover-up. Finally, I know it's time to rest. After 3 consecutive battles, my physical strength has been able to support me until now, which is pretty good. Principal Jin Zhaodong nodded frequently, but his tone changed. But our female lecturer Zhao Shenzi will not give you time to rest. Want to find a chance to recover? Dreaming, the female lecturer gritted her teeth. She has now used her strongest elf. The defeats in the previous 3 battles should be brought to an end with this victory. Rumble Rock, use Sand Splash, and at the same time, prepare for Rockfall. Whoo! Click, click, click. Long Longian is already his advantageous home field on this pitted field. With dual attributes of rock and ground, he can fight on such a field like a duck to water. The Rumble Rock on the field relies on the gravel on the ground and uses the rock falling move to send it high into the air. This is like the previous move formed by Tornado plus Water Splash, but in the hands of Long Longian, the move Rockfall is even more powerful. King Salted Fish, get to the ground and be careful to avoid the attacks of rocks. Yang Yu knew very well how much damage the rock-type moves would do to the flying type. This is fundamentally different from the electric type. 100,000 volts can be used with Dragon's Fury. Todoroki came to avoid being hurt, but this move to Rock was impossible. The sky above the arena is filled with large and small gravels. Start falling. Once it is attacked by falling rocks during flight, it is like a plane hitting a bird. Even if it is a small stone, the damage caused by the impact will be very terrifying. King Salted Fish, his rocks fell down, so let's let the gravel on the ground blast up. Use the move, Water Splash. Yang Yu must resolve this rock falling move, and the Water Splash jump before can shake up the surrounding gravel on the ground, which is the best defense. Rumble Rock, now, use the move, Roll. The female lecturer's face showed a hint of excitement of success. Using the rock falling move, Gyarados was forced to the ground. Gyarados, which had lost its ability to fly, isn't it a complete living target on the ground? Boom 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 boom. Long Longian shrank his head and limbs, and his whole body was really like a huge ball-shaped stone, rolling hard towards the Gyarados in the arena. Salted Fish King, Water Column Tail, Yang Yu frowned tightly. This female lecturer really seized the opportunity and attacked with all her strength without sparing any effort. However, this is how a real elf battle should be. Roar! An angry light flashed in the eyes of the Salted Fish King. The huge rock ball rolling in front of him made him smell a hint of danger, which made his whole body begin to ignite a raging fire of battle. Some of the rocks falling from the sky still hit the Salted Fish King. The pain when these rocks hit him was not as painful as expected. After being tempered by thunder during evolution, the scales on the Salted Fish King were harder than before, which was what made him the most angry. The place where there was a dull mark on his body, was stained by some traces of dust left by falling rocks. Unforgivable. The Salted Fish King closed his eyes deeply. When he opened his eyes again, the move he used was not the water column tail commanded by Yang Yu, but Dragon of Angry. Since you let the dust offend my Nilan, don't blame me for ruthlessly beating you until you cry. Roar. In the arena, a thunderous roar suddenly sounded. What? You still have the energy to use Dragon's Wrath? The female lecturer's face suddenly changed. Gyarados has already used so many moves, and it's not exhausted yet. Why is this Dragon's Wrath? A terrible thought flashed through the mind of female lecturer Zhao Shenzi. This time the Dragon's Wrath is even more terrifying than the Dragon's Wrath used against the 3-in-1 magnet monster. The Dragon's Fury with powerful anger. After Principal Jin Xiaodong saw the dragon's light beam in front of him, he vaguely seemed to see the dragon form formed by energy in the light beam, and he released rolling moves towards it. He blasted at Long Longian. I'm afraid Long Longian won't be able to stop him. His special defense race value is a bit low. The principal thought of the scene when he melted the wall of light. So this is Yang Yu's true strength. Hong Kong and Gao Mao were eye-opening. During the freshman ranking battle, even in the friendly match between Yang Yu and the principal, they couldn't really feel Yang Yu's true strength. How powerful is Yu? It's so powerful that not only can we beat female classmates to tears, but we can even beat female lecturers to tears. When Ren Fang Chen let out a long sigh, the three of us can't lose the reputation of the entire dormitory of 403. That's necessary. When Yang Yu's training class starts, I will immediately ask Yang Yu to help me train the Sea Thorn Dragon fiercely. Hong Kong was not discouraged at all, but was full of fighting spirit. The Sea Thorn Dragon on the side looked very serious, and he also I long for the day when I can be like Gyarados, releasing the terrifying dragon's fury. Little Top Hat, did you hear that? Gao Mao patted the agate jellyfish on his head. The little tall hat held up his two straps. Make sure to complete the task of hugging your thighs and binding them, and don't let go at all. If you want to let go, I won't play computer for a month. Hoo ho ho dash. When the dragon's wrath move from the salty fish king's mouth ended, Long Longian, who was covered in black charcoal on the field, barely stretched out his arms to support his body, not wanting to let himself fall. Rumble Rock. Long Longian, are you okay? Long Longian, the female lecturer Zhao Shenzi saw the look of Long Longian supporting her body on her face, and 2 lines of hot tears flowed out uncontrollably. Call. Long Longian heard his master's call, slowly turned his head, smiled with difficulty and stretched out his other hand. This is a thumbs up. Then, it collapsed. Rumble Rock. In the arena, female lecturer Zhao Shenzi rushed up to hold Long Longian, who fell to the ground and lost his fighting ability, with open arms. The sound of crying could be heard in the arena. At the same time, the auspicious egg elves from the school elf hospital in nurse uniforms came to the arena with many strange powers also in uniforms, and picked up Long Longian and took them away. Yang Yu took a deep breath and walked to the side of the female lecturer. It must be said that this was a hardy battle between elves. Even though the female lecturer named Zhao Shenzi didn't seem very friendly at first, through this elf battle, Long Longian's actions at the end, and the female lecturer's outburst of deep feelings for Long Longian, Yang Yu was very moved. Teacher Zhao, thank you. Yang Yu, right? You played well, but I will remember you. The female lecturer's face was still expressionless, but in her impression and tone, she already had a lot of interest in the new student named Yang Yu. Changes. You won this assessment. Female lecturer Zhao Shenzi quickly followed the lucky egg and left in the direction of the school elf hospital. Yang Yu. Yang Yu. Yang Yu. Gyarados. Gyarados. Boom. The whole audience shouted. On the rostrum, Blue wanted to run down to the arena and give Gyarados a victory flag. As if he felt Blue's thoughts, Principal Jin Xiaodong snapped his fingers, and Hudi appeared behind the principal and clicked. Nodded. Teleport. Ba. Boom. Yang Yu gently patted the Salted Fish King's neck. He was surprised to find a Blue running towards him and the Salted Fish King with small feet and excitedly waving a flag in his hand. Ho ho ho. You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 153. Look, look, that's Yang Yu, the madman who beats and cries. Not only did he beat the freshman girl to tears, but he also beat the new female lecturer to tears. It turns out he is Yang Yu. It's over. What should I do? I really want to be beaten to tears by him. Shut up, you licking dog. One punch from labor and management will turn you into a licking monster. Yang Yu didn't know that he had the strange title of crying maniac in school. There was even a legend of Zhe may cry spread in the gossip, that is, saying Yang Yu's name can make people cry. The girl was scared and stopped crying. So here comes the question, if you let Yang Yu beat the girl to cry first, and then let Yang Yu tell the girl I am Yang Yu, will the girl stop crying? In short, it is not clear what Yang Yu thinks about this nickname. Anyway, he is very happy now. He has the authority to open the arena. Among the students, apart from the president and 3 vice presidents of the school elite alliance, only Yang Yu has obtained such authority. Except for the monthly alliance assessment in the arena, our school elite league basically doesn't use the arena at other times. But after you hold the training class. Vice President Kang Hanan looked at Yang meaningfully. Royal glance. Mr. Yang Yu felt that there was something in the vice president's words. He even stopped talking about the rest of the words. It was as uncomfortable as breaking a chapter, and he wanted to send a blade. The daily maintenance of the arena will be left to you. Routine maintenance. That is of course a must. That's a whole arena, it's really not that exciting. It can be said that now, as long as it is not the school schedule and the extracurricular activity time in the afternoon, when night falls at 6 o'clock in the evening. Hey. Yang Yu couldn't wait to leave the headquarters of the East District School Elite Alliance and ran towards the arena. Opened the door excitedly, and then. Yang Yu was stunned. What the hell is this, an arena? Why does this feel like picking up junk in a recycling bin? I'm just a freshman in college, don't bully me for being a newbie. Yang Yu suddenly felt that the scene in front of him looked very familiar. Isn't this the venue left after yesterday's game? Untouched. Nothing has changed. Aren't those familiar pits on the ground made by the Salted Fish King? There are also these cracked places, these gravels on the ground. Oh yes, there seems to be a large black ground that was scorched when the coal turtle blew smoke. The principal didn't find someone to fix it. Yang Yu was dumbfounded. Why did he have a horrible feeling in his heart? Instead of receiving a venue reward, he received a mess? How so? No, go find the principal and ask. Classmate Yang Yu, Are you here? Do you have any questions? Principal Jin Xiaodong greeted cordially, with a caring smile on his face, and even poured a glass of water for Yang Yu. Yang Yu blinked, looking at such a gentle principal. He couldn't get angry at all. He was still a student, so he couldn't question the principal, right? What's more, the principal poured him a glass of water with such concern. Classmate Yang Yu, come to see me today. Do you have anything to report? Principal Jin Xiaodong was very happy in his heart. He looked at the very ugly expression on Yang Yu's face. He didn't know what happened, wasn't it? Is it that thing about the arena venue? However, as long as you put on a smile and deign to pour a cup of hot water, the school can save a lot of money immediately. Tisk tisk tisk. There are not many principals who care about the school like Jin Xiaodong, and I really not seen much anymore. Principal Jin Xiaodong still looked at Yang Yu with a smile on his face. Yang Yu didn't know what the principal was thinking in front of him. In short, Yang Yu felt very unhappy. Principal, why hasn't the arena been repaired? I got the permission to enter the arena today, but when I entered, the venue was still the same as yesterday, like a mess. Although Yang Yu said this, but in the principal's eyes, in front of his smile, his tone became a little weaker. This matter, classmate Yang Yu, is like this. If it is still during the freshman ranking battle, if the arena is damaged due to the battle, the school will repair it at public expense. But, your application for the training class assessment this time, essentially it says that if the arena is damaged, you should pay for the repairs. Principal Jin Xiaodong said slowly, looking a little embarrassed and even frowning. I'm not the only one who broke it. The large burnt area on the field was done by the female lecturer, not me. Yang Yu suddenly felt that his heart ached so much. It seems that the pockets that I just bulged up soon will be like running water, filling the pits in the arena. The principal almost couldn't help but spit out the tea he just drank and laughed. Isn't this Yang Yu's concept so amazing? Yang Yu, you have to go to Professor Zhao on this matter yourself. However, I personally think that as the winner of the battle, this aspect should be more generous. After all, if you really want to say this, Professor Zhao's Longlongian was sent to the elf hospital by your Gyarados. In a battle between elves, it is inevitable that he will be injured. You can't just because the elf is injured, the medical expenses should be paid by the winner, right? The principal's tone was so sincere, no such thing. Reason. That's true. Yang Yu hesitated for a while and nodded in agreement. The principal was right. However, Yang Yu's heart couldn't help but clench when he thought of the arena venue that looked like a garbage dump and the scene of the elf coins flowing out. U2014 and go bankrupt again. Why is it so difficult for me? Student Yang Yu, if you want to repair the site, you can go to the civil engineering professors. For students in your school, they will definitely give you the best price, and the quality of the repairs must be reliable, the principal smiled. Reminded? Reliable. Why did Yang Yu feel that it was not reliable at all? The construction was like a shoddy project. How come a hole appeared in the ground after being hit by the salted fish king? Yang Yu, don't doubt their professionalism as civil engineering professionals to cause so much damage. I can only say that the power of your Gyarados moves has exceeded the ability of the ground to withstand it. Yang Yu held his forehead, feeling a little embarrassed, but could he blame the salted fish king? If it weren't for the salted fish king, Yang Yu wouldn't be able to pass the application assessment and get permission to enter the arena. Just pay for yourself. Anyway, it was Yang Yu who damaged the venue. Although it hurts a little to pay for myself, it is at least better than helping others take over. Seeing Yang Yu leave the office, Principal Jin Xiaodong quickly summoned Hudi and created a soundproof magic space barrier in his office. Ha 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 ha. Thank you to every genuine subscriber for your strong support. Thanks. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Shao. Chapter 154. Yang Yu, you can't go bankrupt again. It's hard to live a happy life without going bankrupt. This time, you must not go bankrupt. Yang Yu will never go bankrupt. Small money can only flow into my pocket and cannot be flowed out casually. Come on Yang Yu, you can do it. Yang Yu's fighting spirit became even higher. Let's make a small advertisement for the training class first. Small advertisements should have attractive photos, right? There must also be various things that can make students feel hot inside and have an uncontrollable desire to sign up. So happily settled. Yang Yu directly posted a picture of Gyarados, then added a few words to hurry up and sign up, and brought his personal phone number. At this time, the movements in Yang Yu's hands stopped. This is your private phone number. No, you can't spread it around. Who knows what trouble will happen if this phone number is spread out? If harassing phone calls come late at night, do you still need to study hard? Forget it, just buy another number when the time comes. Yang Yu felt that he had prepared everything, and even thought about the advertising slogan, no matter whether we were friends before, as long as you sign up for this, we will be good friends. Just when I am about to go to a printing shop to print small advertisements, and then send out all these small advertisements, reaching the peak of my life. When Ren Fangchen called. Yang Yu, come back quickly, our dormitory building can no longer hold it. What? Yang Yu underestimated the influence of his training class in the school, especially after beating the female instructor for crying during the battle. Is the training class for beating crying girls about to enroll? Go, you must go, how can you beat crying girls without being strong? I almost cried when I was beaten by a girl in the battle. The girls in our department are so strong. When I sign up for this class, I will learn from Yang Yu in the future. Are there any conditions for registering for this class? No matter how expensive it is, I must participate. This is a good opportunity to get to know Yang Yu. The above is a discussion among boys. The following is a discussion between the girls. Sisters, what should I say? I want to try what it feels like to be beaten and cried by Yang Yu. Why is this so popular now? Count me in, I also want to be beaten to tears, blah blah blah. Hey, weirdo, let's see what's going on. You don't need Yang Yu to beat you to tears, we'll beat you to tears first. Woman, spare your life, heroine, spare your life. Have you heard that the boys in the language major actually wanted to sign up for this class and beat us for crying? It seems that they don't know how much they weigh, and they think they are Yang Yu. Of course I choose to sign up, to spank boys who cry. Yang Yu finally saw what Fang Chen, a well-known person, meant when he just said on the phone that the dormitory building is about to be unbearable. This was not an exaggeration at all. These are all people. If there are so many people, why the hell should I do a small advertisement? Yang Yu looked at the situation downstairs in the dormitory building in great surprise, and even started to feel numb. Dear students, please calm down. The registration channel for Yang Yu's training class has been officially opened on the school's official website. Students who want to register can register at 1700 hours today. The specific number of places has not been determined yet, but it is indeed limited. Principal Jin Zayadong's voice came from above. At the same time, there were several dormitory security guards sitting on Baidiao beside the principal. The principal is here. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, right? Yang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. The principal showed up just in time, which relieved Yang Yu's urgent need at this time. Everyone, please go back first. It's registration time at 5 o'clock in the afternoon. See you there. Principal Jin Xiaodong was really shocked when he received the news that students in the dormitory gathered to sign up. It was the first time in school that he encountered such a high enthusiasm for signing up for a training class, but when he thought about it carefully, there was a reason for this. There is no doubt about Yang Yu's strength. Yang Yu, Principal Jin Xiaodong saw Yang Yu below and ordered Bai Diao to stay nearby and waved to Yang Yu. Principal, thank you for controlling the situation this time. Yang Yu breathed a sigh of relief. For this training class, well, he completely underestimated the enthusiasm of the students and was not prepared at all. Yang Yu, didn't you tell the vice president of the school elite alliance about the specific registration time, number of applicants, and registration fees? Principal Jin Xiaodong shook his head. This is nothing, but he was curious why Yang Yu didn't talk to the vice president and others in advance. Ah! Looking at Yang Yu's expression, the principal understood in his heart. He was probably too excited after getting the key to the arena. Some things were not explained clearly, so he ran directly to the arena. Then he saw that the arena was in a mess, so he came to find him. Principal, I thought this, were like me sitting there by myself to recruit students. Yang Yu wiped the sweat from his forehead, as if he had made a big mistake. How can there be such a recruitment? How old is this? Principal Jin Xiaodong was speechless. Didn't Vice President Kong send you a message asking you to tell him the specific details of the registration? Why didn't you see it? I was going to advertise, maybe I didn't see it. Yang Yu scratched his head in embarrassment, his face red. Advertisement? Enrollment advertisement, the principal was surprised. Have you done it? Did you make it yourself? Can you show it to me? Yang Yuzhan gingerly handed over the draft in his hand. Regardless of whether we were friends before, as long as you sign up for this, we will be good friends. Yang Yu, you are really an advertising genius. Principal Jin Xiaodong read out the above advertisement word for word, watching it with interest. Yang Yu, the owner of the draft advertisement, then gave it back to him. You can use this on the home page of the registration. Just give it to the people from the school elite alliance, and they will do it for you. He. Yang Yu scratched his head and laughed. The school will prepare a separate set of elf cultivation resources for you every month based on the rankings of the freshman ranking competition, and they will be sent to you in a few days, Principal Jin Xiaodong added. Yang Yu's eyes lit up and he blurted out, Principal, how many resources does the first place have? The material resources of 50,000 elf coins include a small amount of excellent quality energy cubes, good quality energy cubes and ordinary quality energy cubes. Don't worry, there will be no middlemen making the difference. Yang Yu heard the annoyed teasing in the principal's tone, but in front of the small money, Yang Yu was thick-skinned enough, and there was a large amount of training resources, which was enough for the Salted Fish King to have a good meal. Let Gao Mao from your dormitory come to my place tomorrow. I was originally informed by your counselor, but since I'm here, I'll tell you first. There's nothing else to do, but as a friendly reminder from an elder, when recruiting students, give careful consideration to students majoring in civil engineering. The principal put away the Bai Diao and summoned Hu Di at the same time. Teleport. During the admissions process, are you considering students majoring in civil engineering? Yang Yu was stunned for a moment when he heard this. Suddenly, a flush of excitement appeared on his face. The principal is really a good person. Civil engineering students are literally free labor. I like. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Chiang Xiao. Chapter 155. The training class for beating crying girls is now recruiting students. Unexpectedly, Yang Yu limited the number of places to 50 people, and they were all taken away in less than 10 seconds. Yang Yu, I didn't grab it? How fast are these people? Hong Kong almost cried in anger in the dormitory. It's so annoying. Yang Yu, you must open the back door. That's right, I will enroll in this class no matter what. Yang Yu, we agreed before, Wenren Fang Chen also agreed. Gao Mao weakly raised a finger, that one, I grabbed it. Hong Kong and Wenren Fang Chen's eyes shot straight at Gao Mao. How is this possible? What kind of hand speed are you doing? When the two of them and Yang Yu saw the agate jellyfish on Gao Mao's head waving its two straps, it even danced like a windmill. Okay, I forgot about the little top hat. Hong Kong held his forehead, turned his head in the direction of Yang Yu fiercely, and stretched out his arm to block Yang Yu's table. Yang Yu, the back door must be opened for this matter. Yang Yu nodded obediently like a chicken pecking at rice. That is required. What a long-lost scene. Yang Yu returned to the arena and opened the pool valve of the arena. Although the ground was still full of potholes, the huge pool was extremely clean and sparkling. Come out, Salty Fish King, this is your royal pool venue for the time being. Yang Yu looked at the venue in front of him, feeling a little excited. Ho ho ho. The Salty Fish King, which was 7 or 8 meters long and slightly fat, appeared from the elf ball. When he saw the huge pool shining in the sun, he hovered excitedly into the air. It's been a long time since he came to the pool venue. The huge Salted Fish King directly stretched his body in the air, chose an extremely comfortable posture, and then free fall. Yang Yu smiled and raised his head to look at the happy Salted Fish King in the sky, having fun like her ha, but after a while, the smile suddenly disappeared from his face. Salted Fish King, what do you want to do? Damn it! Yang Yu turned around in horror and ran away. However, how fast was the free fall, and how far could Yang Yu run? Wow! Yang Yu only heard the sound of heavy falling water coming from behind. At the same time, a cold feeling came over him, and a huge splash of water hit his back. Oh! Why don't I have a long memory? Yang Yu almost cried. The Salted Fish King had been holding it in the poke ball for a long time. When he made his official debut for the first time, he even scared the referee blue. This time, nothing worse than that. After all, the Salted Fish King is an elf living in the water. No matter how powerful he is after evolution, the Salty Fish King, who has a water attribute, has this long-lost intimacy with water. When he sees a pool, he can't help but want to hug it with his whole body. Ho ho ho! The Salted Fish King swam sideways, lying down, or sideways, splashing and jumping from time to time, and then spinning in the water. A huge whirlpool appeared in the center of the pool. Then, the Salted Fish King appeared in the center of the whirlpool with his eyes closed and a smile. Where is the applause? Ho ho ho! The Salted Fish King lay flat in the air again and fell heavily into the water. Wow! Yang Yu looked at the second huge splash of water coming towards him, and quickly stretched out his hand to cover it. Bah, bah, bah. Yang Yu inevitably spat a few times. Although he was very angry at what the Salted Fish King had done, his mood also relaxed when he saw the Salted Fish King playing happily like a naughty child in this huge pool. Who doesn't want their elf friends to grow up happily? Ho ho ho! The Salted Fish King swam slowly in the direction of Yang Yu in the pool. After his huge and strong body was washed by the pool, his crystal clear scales shone with bright blue charm. This appearance, even in the Salted Fish Kings, he is also an absolute leader in the group, right? Yang Yu was already soaked all over, but when faced with the call of the Salted Fish King, he still walked over with a smile, stretched out his hand lovingly, and hugged the lowered neck of the Salted Fish King. Then, Yang Yu found himself taking off again. Ever since the Salted Fish King evolved, Yang Yu felt that something was wrong. Why was he always being picked up by the Salted Fish King? I, the protagonist, don't want to lose face? Salted Fish King hung, look at the likes outside, who is the real protagonist? Yang Yu sat on the Salted Fish King's back, but his feet did not enter the water. Looking at the Salted Fish King so close in front of him, it felt very strange, especially when he reached out and touched the salted fish king's back. You can clearly feel the beating sensation coming from the salted fish king's body. It was completely different from the previous time when he flew into the air. Last time, he went into a frightened state and only thought about holding onto the salty fish king's neck to save his life. This time, the feeling was particularly clear. Salted fish king, let's go, Yang Yu smiled and patted the salted fish king on his neck. Ho ho ho. The salted fish king directly swung its strong tail, as if it were ejected. Yang Yu couldn't hold it firmly, rolled directly backwards, and fell into the pool on his back. Salted fish king. Ho ho ho. Yang Yu gritted his teeth and took several sips of water in the water. All the joy he had felt before disappeared. He raised his head and looked at the salty fish king, who was smiling heartlessly. He wished he could get the gold possessed by Superman at this moment. With your fingers, pick up the salted fish king and swing it. Who? Even if I, Yang Yu, drown and die here, I will never sit on it again. The salted fish king picked up a young boy who had fallen into the water and put it on his back again, and then touched Yang Yu's head with his two beards, looking like he was speaking seriously and sincerely from an elder. Don't lose your temper. Sit tight and obediently. You can't fall again this time. Yang Yu rolled his eyes and hugged the salted fish king's back firmly. This time, salted fish king swam very slowly, and Yang Yu seemed to be enjoying a luxurious single-person Gyarados-type cruise ship, playing in this huge pool venue. It smells so good. My salted fish has just grown up. After the excitement of Gyarados passed, Yang Yu was almost done playing. Others really couldn't experience the happiness here. The arena is such a great place. Salted fish king, you can stay here from now on. I'll go back first and pick you up to take you back to the Pokeball tomorrow morning. Yang Yu glanced at the time. It was almost 9 p.m. before he knew it. It goes by so fast, it's been almost 3 hours here. Ho ho ho. The salted fish king's neck twisted in Yang Yu's arms. By the way, I have a little friend here. Do you remember where we went to Beihang Waters last time? Data brought him back to me. Yang Yu took out a small fish tank from his backpack and showed it to the salted fish king. The salted fish king, which was 7 or 8 meters long, stared through the glass fish tank with his big eyes, and saw the small fish inside, which was only a dozen centimeters long. Likewise, this little fish also saw him. Salted fish king, look, it's not afraid of you, so it lives with you. Remember to take good care of it. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, AI Ren Huo Qiangxiao. Chapter 156. The Ugly Fish, How Should It Evolve? Yang Yu couldn't sleep. He had deep concerns in his heart and couldn't let go for the time being. He consulted a lot of information about this elven world, and found out that the evolution of the ugly fish is even more mysterious than the evolution of the salted fish king. The salted fish king at least has the ancient legend of carp leaping over the dragon's gate, but the ugly fish. There is no fairy tale about the ugly duckling here. There is only a princess who was cast an evil magic and turned into an ugly fish. As long as the prince kisses it, the ugly fish will turn into a beautiful princess. If a kiss could evolve, Venus wouldn't be so rare in this world. I've never evolved in the game, how should I evolve in reality? Yang Yu went downstairs. Why were there still couples making love to each other on the road to the dormitory in the middle of the night? A thought flashed through Yang Yu's mind. It would be great if a ghost elf came here at this time. For some reason, the couple on the roadside felt that the atmosphere around them had suddenly cooled down, and they shivered. I remember that last time an opponent's elf came from Gaisai. If you have a chance, you can ask him where he caught his Gaisai. Yang Yu shook his head and left here. The moon was quite bright today, and he wanted to see the arena. But if we go at this time, will it disturb the rest of Salted Fish King and Xiao Xiao? Yang Yu thought for a while and decided to forget it and just walk around the campus to relax. In the game, you can evolve after your beauty reaches a certain value, but how to improve the beauty of the ugly fish in reality? Yang Yu stopped and remembered that a long time ago, when he first came to this elf world, he participated a very small competition. The campus was very quiet late at night, and the gentle breeze had a hint of coldness. Yang Yu raised his head and looked at the night sky with a bright moon and a few twinkling stars. His eyes were clear and bright. Elf, gorgeous contest. The Salted Fish King couldn't sleep either. It was the first time he had seen such a small, tiny fish, especially after he evolved. The Salted Fish King remembered the day he evolved, and when he was about to save the little fish, it seemed like the little fish jumped out of the container and jumped directly into his mouth, almost not being swallowed by him. It hadn't evolved yet. That's a really bad memory. The Salted Fish King, which was 7 or 8 meters long, looked at this little fish under the faint moonlight. Roar! Aren't you afraid of me? This feeling is amazing. When he appeared in the battle before, Salted Fish King could clearly feel that his appearance made many elves, even those opponent trainers, feel trembling fear. Apart from the powerful Hudi and the powerful trainer called Principal by his master, and the female trainer I met later, there was only one elf in Longlongian who was not afraid of his intimidating aura. Of this little fish. Not afraid of him. Huji? Huji. The little fish puffed out bubbles and showed no fear in its dull eyes. At the same time, it happily swam up and down in front of the Salted Fish King for a while. He finally spoke. Hu ho ho ho. For a moment, Xiao Xiao became excited and incoherent, not knowing what he was talking about. The Salted Fish King's two beards scratched his puzzled head suspiciously. Could this little fish be frightened by him? But what should I do if I'm really scared? The Salted Fish King remembered that before his master left, he seemed to have asked him to take good care of this little fish. It's not easy to beat up an elf, but to take care of an elf. It's so difficult, I can't. Wait, there seems to be something wrong with this. The more the Salted Fish King thought about it, the more wrong he became. Isn't it the owner's business to raise the elf? How did it become his? Not to mention, the master himself beat the trainers of the two girls to tears, and he didn't see the master taking care of them. If Yang Yu knew what the Salted Fish King was thinking, he would make sure to hang him up and braise him for a meal. He must be reasonable, okay. When you beat the trainer of a crying girl, it was you, the Salted Fish King, who took action, not me. Yang Yu, I just shouted 666 from the side. The Salted Fish King blinked. How about testing it first? Is this little fish normal? It is impossible to use other moves? If it is something like Dragon's Fury, something like Water Splash, such a small fish, it will happen accidentally. Ho ho ho. Huji. The little fish stopped and looked up curiously at the big guy in front of him. Ho ho ho. Now, I will sing a song for you. When I sing, you must be obedient. You must not cry or run around. Huji. Xiao Xiao's eyes shone with extremely touching light. Sing. This reminded him of the day when the Gyarados in front of him evolved greatly, and he will never forget that day. There were violent storms, lightning and thunder. It was an abyss of despair. It was him who showed up. At that time, he was still the Carp King. However, when he was still King Magi Carp, in the abyss, he led many Magi Carp Kings to sing the same song. Roar. The Salted Fish King looked suspiciously at this little fish that was swimming around excitedly in search of nowhere. He hadn't even started singing yet, so he was so happy. Are you my loyal fan? Then I started singing. Big, Small, small, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The salted fish king blinked, and another singing voice seemed to appear in his ears. It was very nice, very soft, but the salted fish king could hear it clearly. However, this singing voice seems to be just a little bit worse than his. Well, just a little bit worse? Roar. The salted fish king looked with burning eyes at the little fish in front of him that was swaying and starting to sing with its eyes closed. There are no other people or elves around, singing songs like that. Is it? It can also sing this song? And the singing is just a little bit worse than him. Ho ho ho. Hooji. The little fish stopped and saw that the big Gyarados actually stopped singing, and it began to feel a little aggrieved. Was it singing too unpleasantly? It actually made Gyarados stop singing. I feel so uncomfortable, I actually did such an unforgivable thing. Ho 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 ho. The salted fish king stared blankly at the little fish with tears dripping from the corners of his eyes, and quickly poked the little guy with the tip of his beard. Hooji. Ho ho. Hooja hooji. Roar. Salted fish king. I order you now not to cry. Now, sing this song to me. The little fish blinked with tears in his eyes. Gyarados, don't you think the song I sing is ugly? Salted fish king, it's okay, it's passable, hurry up, sing it to me right away. The little fish seemed to have been greatly encouraged, with a rare smile on its face. Its small body jumped out of the water in the pool, and then fell into the water again. My singing is not bad. Gyarados said, my singing is pretty good. In the pool area of the arena, a very light but rhythmic sound appeared. The salted fish king closed his eyes and hummed softly. It's much better than the singing of a certain master named Yang. Can his singing be called singing? It's clearly a humanoid self-propelled noisemaker. Ah, sneeze. Yang Yu sneezed inexplicably on campus. It seems like it's getting colder, but wait, what is this? Yang Yu's pupils shrank. In my mind, after the singing move column, a set of gray derived messages suddenly appeared. Healing ringtones, gray. Let your teammates listen to the comfortable ringtone to cure the abnormal status of all our team members. Source, it was accidentally derived when the salted fish king singed in front of the JoJo fish. Note, after the ugly fish evolves, the healing bell can fully use the power of this move. In the gray move state, the healing bell can appease the elf, thereby speeding up the elf's physical recovery effect. I taught the salted fish king to sing when I was riding a horse, but what he learned was noise. The salted fish king taught the Joe ugly fish to sing, but what the JoJo fish learned was the healing ringtone. Yang Yu was so angry that he almost exploded on the spot. Pokemon's Character Master. Author, Ai Ren Huo Xiangxiao. Chapter 157. Yang Yu suffered from insomnia. When he ran to the arena early in the morning, the salted fish king stared back and forth with his big eyes, looking suspiciously back and forth between Yang Yu and Xiao Xiao. His expression was inexplicably surprised. Instead, it was Xiao Xiao. I felt a more intimate feeling from Yang Yu. The same style as JoJo fish for dark circles. Xiao Xiao, have you learned the healing ringtone? Yang Yu squatted down and looked curiously at Xiao Xiao in the pool with thick dark circles under his eyes. Hooji. Yang Yu was surprised to find that the ugly fish in front of him had changed a lot since the night when he first met in Beihang waters. The first thing that bore the brunt was the pair of eyes that should have been ugly and dull. Now, are you actually squinting? Although it was just a very ordinary behavior, in Yang Yu's eyes, it was a very good message. Just like people, when an elf has a positive attitude of loving life, it will naturally show positive energy, both in appearance and in body and mind. No matter how sad it looks. My destiny is up to me. Whether I am ugly or beautiful, I have the final say on who I am. Like the salted fish king. Born to be a salty fish, he never accepts his fate, goes against the will of heaven, and fights to the end. Perhaps, the evolution of Salted Fish King will naturally have an impact on Xiao Xiao. Yang Yu guessed in his heart that because there are real examples in real life, if he is with diligent and studious people, he will become more diligent, especially when he is about to face the college entrance examination in the 3rd grade of high school. That is a real the carp leaps over the dragon's gate. King Xian you did a good job, Yang Yu couldn't help but admire. Roar. The Salted Fish King straightened his tall body quite proudly, with a very arrogant expression on his face. Humph, what do you think? Yang Yu doesn't care about the Salted Fish King either. If you could teach Xiao Xiao a few more awesome plus moves, it would be fine even if your tail is raised to the sky. Little fish. Yang Yu's expression was quite serious. Huji. You must listen carefully to what I am saying now. You must remember that other people's opinions are bullshit. It is up to you to decide who you are. This is what I teach you. Xiao Xiao seemed a little confused, as if it was temporarily difficult to understand the meaning of Yang Yu's words. On the contrary, Salted Fish King's eyes lit up after hearing this. There was something in this, but for some reason he felt something was wrong. The owner kept calling him Salted Fish King when he was raising him. Hateful. Ding. A flash of light flashed in the eyes of the Salted Fish King. Yang Yu suddenly felt a chill on his back. Seeing that his feet suddenly began to hang in the air and then left the ground, his face became frightened. Salted Fish King, what do you want to do? Let me go. No, please help me, I don't want to fly in the sky. Over the huge arena, a Salted Fish King with bright blue crystal scales all over its body was flying quickly around the entire arena. At the same time, there was another one with closed eyes and a pale complexion on its back, holding it tightly with both hands. Yang did not dare to move. In the pool, a very small ugly fish that might not have been seen if you didn't look carefully looked at the huge and strong body flying fast in the sky with great envy, its small eyes sparkling of light. I have to say it myself? Yang Yu's legs were weak, his eyes were dull, and his body felt hollowed out. After leaving the arena, he didn't even know how he returned to the dormitory. Wenren Fang Chen and Hong Kong were startled. Yang Yu, are you okay? Do you want to go to the school elf hospital for a checkup? Wenren Fang Chen quickly stood up and helped. Yang Yu, what's wrong? Why did you become like this after you went to the arena? Hong Kong was also very nervous. What a sin! Yang Yu's voice trembled extremely. When he thought of the scene where he was picked up in the air by the Salted Fish King and ravaged, this feeling was so miserable. Is everything okay? Wenren Fang Chen asked again. It's okay, I just didn't sleep well yesterday and my head is a little dizzy. Yang Yu waved his hand. Yang Yu saw that Gao Mao was not in the dormitory, and remembered that Gao Mao must have gotten the news and went to see the principal, so he casually asked, has Gao Mao gone to the principal? Wenren Fang Chen and Hong Kong nodded at the same time. It's been a while since I went there, and I don't know what the situation is. Hong Kong shook his head, he didn't know. I'll take a nap first, I'm too tired. Yang Yu collapsed on the bed. It was originally a good scene to cheer up Xiao Xiao. What a good atmosphere, it was all ruined by the Salted Fish King. Hateful. Yang Yu glanced at his hands pitifully. I can't afford to copy Salted Fish King. When Yang Yu woke up, Gao Mao was back, but the dormitory seemed a little solemn. What happened, Gao Mao, Wenren Fang Chen, and Hong Kong? Why don't you play games anymore, Gao Mao? Yang Yu rubbed his eyes, feeling something was wrong. Gao Mao, tell Yang Yu yourself. Hong Kong's voice was a little excited, a little angry, but not unlike him. What happened, Gao Mao? Yang Yu sat up straight and asked quickly. Judging from the expression on Hong Kong's face, it seemed that something had happened to Gao Mao. What can happen? Yang Yu suddenly thought of something. Actually, it's nothing. I just want to go to the military camp. Gao Mao raised his head, saw the ferocious expression on Hong Kong's face, and shrank his head weakly. Yang Yu took a deep breath. Sure enough, it seemed that he was not wrong. It's a good thing, Gao Mao, this is a good thing. Why are you so scared on your face? And Hong Kong, why are you speaking so loudly? Of course Yang Yu knew what Hong Kong was thinking, but, the person making the choice is Gao Mao himself, not Yang Yu, Wenren Fang Chen and Hong Kong. Of course I know, but, oh. What should I say? How long have we been together? For 403 years. Yang Yu, you said this. Hong Kong stared at his big eyes and couldn't control his temper. He jumped up angrily in the dormitory. Originally, when Yang Yu was still resting, Hong Kong's anger was already difficult to control. He just couldn't figure it out. It was fine here in 403, so why did Gao Mao want to go to the military camp? Lao Hong, sit down and talk. You can't help much. On the contrary, the effect is not good. There is something that we can't sit down and talk about. Wenren Fang Chen had already said this before when Yang Yu was still resting. I had to hold Hong Kong back once, otherwise Yang Yu would have been woken up early. Yes, Hong Kong, we also understand your feelings, and Wenren Fang Chen and I are the same. We definitely hope that Gao Mao will stay and spend 4 years in college. Yang Yu got off the bed and said kindly. He patted the grumpy old man on the shoulder and turned to look at the depressed and autistic Gao Mao. Gao Mao felt much better at this time, but he still didn't know what it was like and had mixed feelings. Gao Mao, as a roommate and brother, of course we should reach a consensus to support you. I hope you will be better. Yang Yu stood up with a smile, blocked Gao Mao's side with his body, gave Hong Kong a look, and then also gave Fang Chen a look. Hong Kong and Wenren Fang Chen were suddenly stunned. Hong Kong, Wenren Fang Chen, what are you waiting for? First put this damn fat man on the bed and beat him up. Yang Yu gritted his teeth and suddenly burst out. Ha 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 ha, it's coming, it's coming. Hong Kong jumped up excitedly and cracked his joints. No matter what, he must be beaten this time, otherwise he will have no chance. Although I don't like taking action very much, when it's time to take action, I must take action. Wenren Fang Chen gladly accepted the invitation. Little Top Hat saw that the situation was not good and immediately helped tie up Hong Kong. Yang Yu. Hong Kong. Wenren Fang Chen. You three, what do you three want to do? Help. Little Top Hat, what are you doing? You are helping the evil. I am your master, Gao Mao. You cry without tears. We agreed to sit down and talk about it later. What about reaching a consensus? It's all a lie. Woo 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 woo. There were too many things going on Friday, so I posted a bit late, sorry.